The SPCA have been called to a property where some dogs are locked inside a metal chamber.
Just here at a property regarding 4 dogs that are housed in a transportation crate. One of our inspectors approached the property yesterday. Instructions were left to improve the situation, get these dogs out of the crate, give them water, just the basic needs. 24 hours later, there's been no contact from the owner. The notices have gone. We're here now just to remove the dogs.
The dogs are trained pig hunters, used to chasing wild boars in the bush, though for the last 4 days they've been confined to this crate. Meanwhile, 3 other dogs are tied up in the backyard, about to be seized by dog control, as none of them are registered.
Kevin's written out the removal notice just to let the owner know that we've removed the dogs. Well, they are hunting dogs, so we're not too sure how they're going to react to being let out with total strangers, so we just have to take every precaution.
Before the SPCA can remove the dogs, one of the occupants of the house returns home.
Just had a chat to the flatmate, who's gone to find contact details for the person that owns the dog. Apparently they're up north and there's somebody looking after the dogs, but it's not a very good arrangement for how they're being kept. So we'll make contact and try and sort the problem out.
But until they've spoken to the owner, all 7 dogs will be removed and taken back to base for inspection.
Is that how you guys found them? Unbelievable.
Even SPCA staff members who've seen many cases of cruelty are shocked the dogs have been treated so badly.
For transportation, it's a well set up unit, but it's not acceptable for a dog to be housed in his own faeces at all.
The dogs appear well fed and healthy, so are likely to be highly prized by their owner.
These dogs are in good body condition, so we don't have a problem with that. The boar's now in the owner's court. He needs to contact us and we need to have a word with him about the situation. For him to get these dogs back, he needs to provide adequate shelter for each dog.
And he'll also have to deal with animal control, who intend to impose several fines.
At the moment, he's been charged with $100 on per dog for registration, plus $40 each for impounding. He'll also get an infringement because the dogs are not registered of $300 each. So he's looking at a total of about probably $1,760. If he would have registered the dogs on time, it would have cost him $80 each. So I think he may be a bit stupid, I think.
In the meantime, the dogs will be kept at the SPCA until the owner responds to their demands. Across town, SPCA Inspector Todd is on his way to save 2 cats, which have been abandoned.
The landlord's found a couple of cats in an empty apartment and thinks that the owners have done a runner and gone back to China or just left and left their cats behind.
And so it's up to Todd to investigate the situation.
Yeah, was inside, so I opened the door.
And he's gone out?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he friendly, do you know, or not?
I don't think the big one's friendly.
It's taken, so it's
Maybe
taken
somewhere around outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the landlady explains, one of the cats is now on the loose. The other she is locked up in her apartment.
When did they move out? So it's just they've only been gone a night. Okay, well, we've only got one of the cats because when the lady opened the door to check on the apartment, one of the cats bolted out through her legs and has run off and sort of hasn't been seen again since. But inside the apartment was all this cat food, all these beds and toys and sort of all sorts of things, and flea spray and kitty litter, and it just seems very odd that someone that's obviously gone to the amount of care to buy all these things for their cat just to have left them behind in an empty apartment.
Tenants are not permitted to have pets here, and so the landlady wants Todd to take away any cats he can find.
Just keep an eye out for the other cat.
Yeah. There's quite a few of them, actually. The black one with the collar.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know who's. We're only going to be taking away. Exactly. We're only going to take away the one that was definitely the one that was left in here. Yeah. We're not going to just start taking away other people's cats. Mm-hmm. So if you see the other one hanging around, we'll just drop a trap back and hopefully we'll be able to catch him that way.
Okay.
Cool.
In Wellington, Ben Lakomy has been called to the Botanic Gardens. And while the grounds are normally home to ducks, tuis, sparrows and maybe the occasional magpie, staff have spotted a bird that really doesn't belong.
Someone stumped a rooster here, so they've tried for a couple of days to try and catch it themselves, but every time they get it cornered, he just jumps up and flies over their heads, so hopefully we'll be able to give them a hand and get it out of here for them.
Time for Plan A.
We're just going to try and tempt the rooster in with some bread. Hopefully all the ducks and the rooster will come around and start eating the bits of bread, and we'll be able to just sneak up on him and nab him in the net. He's pretty wary.
While it's not a complicated plan, there's plenty that can go wrong, though so far so good.
Oh, there he is up there, just on the water's edge. Try and cut him off from behind because they don't like water too much.
Unlike the nearby ducks, the rooster doesn't seem keen for a swim, and for that matter, neither is Ben.
Won't have to be going swimming today. Not often that we get them on the first shot, so quite lucky this time. Good result. There we go, in the box maybe.
Back at base, Ben's hopeful of a good outcome for the rooster he's nicknamed the Colonel.
I'm glad to be out of that box. We've got a list of people here that are quite keen to adopt roosters onto their farm, so he'll just be in here for a little while until we can sort that out.
But it's not long before Ben's back out on the road, as it seems stray farm animals are keeping the Wellington SPCA very busy today.
You right, Ben?
Yeah, mate, the regional council have just been shooting some sheep up on the hills over there,
Yep.
and one's actually got out and it's made its way into the rear of this property, so police have just asked us to come and grab it, take it away for them.
Okay.
The sheep is just one of several ewes which have escaped from a nearby freezing works and headed for the suburbs, though she's been cornered by the boys in blue.
Playing possum.
It seems she doesn't want to budge, and the reason soon becomes obvious.
She's been shot.
Could have been a stray bullet that's just shot across the top and just opened up the skin. It could have been something where she was running away, rolled over, caught herself on a branch. So we're going to take her back down to the shelter and get the vets to take a look, see what we can do for her.
A sheep will be a rare sight back at base, but she'll be given the same kind of treatment awarded to all the animals in their care.
One of the lucky ones, eh?
The dogs left in a crate for 4 days have been returned to their owner, after he assured the SPCA they'd be housed at a local kennel. But following a routine check, Kevin Plowright has discovered this isn't the case.
So I've been told some wild stories there. So I'm going back to the property to try and sort this out.
But when Kevin arrives, there's no sign of the 4 dogs from the crate, or the other 3 returned to the owner a few days ago.
Where are they now?
They're over at a friend's place.
Are they being left in that box?
No, they're not.
They're not. I don't care if they're at a mate's place or where they are, as long as they're not in that box. That's really all I want to see. He doesn't need to come up with any stories.
Yeah.
I don't care on any of that. I hear enough of it in my line of work. Just keep it real simple.
Yeah.
Show me the setup.
Okay.
And I'm not expecting, you know, the Hotel Hilton or anything for the dogs. I just want something realistic.
Okay.
So I can come along, have a look at them, and go, sweet, I'm happy here, see you later.
Okay.
And I just want a little bit of closure to it,
Yeah.
and just to know that they're not left in that box.
Yeah.
Despite the woman's assurances, Kevin's not prepared to let the matter rest.
I've now got a work phone number and that, and I need to contact him, and just explaining to him I'm not after the games, I just want to know that the dogs are okay and set up properly.
Across town, Inspector Andrew Gordon also has problems with a dog owner. Yesterday, this retriever was rescued from a hot car, though that's not the only concern.
This is a dog that's quite underweight and was also really distressed. I was a bit concerned. We had to keep some cool water on this dog for about half an hour before it stopped panting.
The dog has spent the night at the SPCA, and before he's returned, Andrew wants to make sure he'll be properly cared for in the future.
I haven't actually got your dog with me. Yeah, you need to show me whereabouts you keep your dog. Yeah. So why was he up the road in the car?
The man explains he had to help his friend who was in an accident and had forgotten he'd left his dog in the car.
We'd had a call that he'd been in from early in the morning. How long had he been in the car? Because I got him out at about 4:30.
The dog was left in the car for more than 5 hours, and the temperature inside the vehicle was around 40 degrees, which could have proved fatal.
On Saturday, it was so hot. Your dog was standing there. He was caught on his chain, and he was just panting, and he was nearly collapsing from cooking. He was so hot, and It's just lucky that we got him out, because if he'd been in there too much longer, he would have died. It only takes 15 minutes to kill a dog in a car in this heat.
Only 15 minutes?
Yeah. And it's not a good way to die.
Though it's not just the dog's living conditions that have Andrew worried.
He's only 14 kgs.
14 kgs?
Yeah, which is too skinny for a retriever. He should be maybe 20 kgs. You can feel all his ribs and his hip bone.
Oh.
Yeah, he's far too skinny. Can you show me how much you feed him?
Yeah.
Can you show me the food? Well, obviously, however much you're giving him isn't enough for the dog.
Needless to say, Tom has a lot to learn about looking after animals, which is why Andrew intends to make this visit one of several, so he can make sure the dog's living conditions rapidly improve. On Auckland's North Shore, an English tourist has spotted a blue penguin in distress and called in the SPCA.
We're on holiday from the UK and we were walking along the beach and I saw what looked like a clump of weed and suddenly it moved. So I came down to look at it and it turned out to be a blue penguin. I picked it up, put it on the bank so it would dry out a little bit, and it gradually started to get a little bit better. My daughter phoned the SPCA, so we've done our little bit for the New Zealand environment.
Yeah, a bit weak, aren't you? Not trying to bite me at all. I'd say he's pretty weak.
He's quite a young one. He hasn't got much in his belly, so he's probably been without food for a while. Luckily, the bird rescue lady lives straight up this road, so we can get him straight up there and she can get some fish into him.
The bird wing in Rothsay Bay is run by Sylvia Durant, who, as it happens, is an expert in the care of blue penguins.
It's a very small adult. If it was a baby, it would be beautiful blue, but she's not. Something's wrong with the fish source this time of the year. We don't know what, but the adults are very, very small, and they're abandoning their babies.
So far this year, Sylvia has helped to look after more than 20 abandoned penguins, the highest number in almost a decade, and still they keep coming.
He's going to have some medicine to pep him up, some electrolytes. The first thing I look for, of course, is what colour its mouth is. Dead white, starving. If it's nice and pink, then it's only just recently been stranded.
Thankfully, all our rescued penguin needs is a good feed, and along with the others here, there's plenty to go around.
This is duplicating the way they feed in the nest. The parent comes home, they shout and poke around with their beaks open, and she opens her beak and they shove it in, and then they have to suck it down. So what they're doing is sucking the fish down.
As feeding time continues, Todd's back with yet another penguin. This one was found on Takapuna Beach.
Well, this is a baby, but he'll be more than 6 weeks old because he hasn't got the fluff. So he'll be a baby abandoned in the nest, and he's just gone out into the water and laid there as much to say, well, what happens now? Where's the fish?
So it's lucky this penguin's found its way to Sylvia's, who's happy to share the gurnard fillets around.
I never want to see fish again. Good feed. Okay, you feel it going down there, come on.
Sylvia's home is a sanctuary to around 20 penguins and a variety of other birds, including a banded rail, which is an endangered species.
The zoo were very interested in him. Somebody picked him up thinking he was a baby pukeko. So I'm looking after him until the zoo can get him to put in their breeding program, and they'll just take him off me.
Sylvia volunteers her time 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And tomorrow at sunrise, she'll be releasing 2 of the penguins who've fully recovered whilst in her care.
She'll go back and she'll know where she lives. All wild birds eventually want to go back into the wild. I'll have some that spend their night jumping, trying to get out. And that's a pretty good sign that I'm ready to go, please.
In Wellington, the sheep found wounded and roaming a suburban area is having her injuries attended to by vet Awilda Carbonell.
Basically what we're going to do first is clip away some of this wool so we can have a better view of the wound. And the first thing we have to do is put some local anesthetic into her skin so she won't feel it when we're actually stitching her up. She's been on pain medication all day, so what I'm doing to her shouldn't be too painful, but she is breathing rather heavily, so that's probably more to do with the fact that she's stressing about being in the surgery more than anything else.
The sheep was a target of police, who opened fire after she escaped from a local abattoir.
Regardless of what happens to her in the future, right now she's just an animal that needs medical attention, so I'm not gonna not treat her just because she's supposed to be somebody's dinner. She's still a sheep right now.
When the sheep recovers, she'll be moved to a farm, where the rooster the SPCA rescued is now enjoying a new life with birds of his own variety.
He's quite a magnificent bird. Come on, fella. We'll pop you up here with the girls. There you go. See what you think of that.
Oh, he's on the way.
Oh, he's a nice young bird.
Concerned for the welfare of the 4 dogs found in a crate, Kevin Plowright's been making regular visits to their owner, but he keeps on getting the runaround.
He's told all sorts of stories on where they are and what they're doing, and from in kennels to all over the show, so I haven't really had much cooperation from him. So what I have to do is call in and just check, make sure everything's okay, make sure they've got food, water and shelter. So the only thing he's really achieved is to make sure that I've called in an awful lot.
And today is no different.
Just come basically to have a look at the dogs, if they set up properly.
It'll be the last time anyway, because we're off.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're moving out?
Yeah, we're moving out of here.
Only 2 dogs are on the property, and both are in good condition.
Where's he got the other dogs now?
Up north.
Oh, okay. He's been quite a storyteller and uncooperative, so we've called him many times, probably 10 times recently, to check on his dogs. And we'll keep doing so until we're satisfied that everything's okay.
Andrew's returned to check on the retriever, which was left in a hot car by its owner.
I've come back to recheck on the dog. Tom came and got it back from SPCA, and I've come to check to make sure it's doing okay. I'm just going to go around and have a
Andrew
look, okay?
gave Tom strict instructions on how to care for the dog, but it hasn't made too much difference.
With his fence property and all the talk and the information I gave him, it'd be free running around, but it's chained up around the back here. Hello. How you going? You're a smelly, wet dog now.
Though he is looking healthier.
At least there's a covering of meat over its ribs now.
He's also extremely pleased to see Andrew.
Yes, I love you too. Not that much. Back.
When Tom turns up, he gets another lesson in dog care.
Because I was concerned that he was on a chain and not running around.
Yeah, the workers paint the wall, so...
He's tied up because of the painters.
Yep.
Yep. Are you feeding him more?
Yep.
Yep. Just need to put something in his kennel, like an old blanket or something like that.
Unfortunately, Tom seems ignorant of the many responsibilities that come with owning a dog like this.
Hello. Yes? Yeah, okay, you can just entertain yourself on my leg. Adorable dog. Yeah. It'll be an ongoing educational thing. We'll be rechecking on it regularly. And lots of fun, especially the fun it seemed to have with my leg. Maybe it'll send flowers. Who knows?
A beautiful sunrise greets Sylvia, her helpers, 20 penguins and her dog Misty at Campbell's Bay. It's time for some therapy, penguin style.
We bring them down every day at low tide and let them have a good swim in the rock pools. Establishes for us that they can climb out, they can swim, that they're waterproof. That's the most important thing, that they're waterproof.
Misty, over here, come and get him. Misty, go and get him, give him a good licking. Good girl.
Sylvia's dog Misty has been trained to stop the penguins from escaping.
That's right, give him a kiss.
That's Misty's job, to keep them in the pool. She's only a puppy, she's only a year old, and she's learnt all by herself, just by seeing us pushing them back in. But at present she licks them rather than do anything else. And the penguins don't like that much. So they say, let's get back in the pool. This dog's going to lick us to death.
After more than 4 months of Sylvia's care and Anwin's therapy, 2 penguins, Tammy and Patches, are ready to be released.
This is one that was very, very small in January, trying to climb up the seawall at Tamaki Drive. And he was only weighing 600 grams instead of well over a kilogram. It should have been this size, but he wasn't. He was thin and miserable, and he just couldn't make it. So somebody brought him into me, and it's taken me 4 months to get him ready to molt, which they've got to weigh at least 1 3/4 kilograms. And then for 3 weeks, they usually don't eat. He fed all the way through, so he's beautiful and fat. He weighs 1 1/4 kilograms, and this is a very good weight for release. So he will go into the sea here now, and he will find his way back to wherever it was he came from. Tamaki Drive is not that far away, and for a penguin, he can just go. That's fine. He's ready to go now. Full molt, beautiful feathers, and he says, "Let me out of here." Time to go.
The release of Tammy and Patches is very confusing to Misty.
Now, Misty's job is to stop the penguins from escaping, and if she doesn't understand why I'm letting them go. They're allowed to go this time. It's all right. They're allowed to go. Good girl. Yes, that's right. There they are. They're finding their way.